Warning, this video may contain content that may not be suitable for children or anyone else that is easily offended. Strong language, graphic content, nudity, bad jokes, and a possible idiot, aka myself, may be featured in the following clip. Viewer discretion is advised. Channel is not responsible for any damages that you receive watching this video. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Zims, and welcome back to 10 Disturbing Scary Stories Volume 4, which is told by Nightmare Files. If you guys haven't already, be sure you swoop down to that description box, hit the original link, and go check out the original video in its entirety without me talking through it. If you haven't seen the last episode, be sure you click on that suggested video above and go check it out. Very good video. You just don't want to move on to Story 6. That's like skipping to the halfway section in The Notebook, in the Titanic. In Saving Private Ryan, you just can't skip to the middle. You're going to miss something. Let's go, baby. 900 subscribers. We're almost there. Keep that same energy. We may not be able to travel, but we can participate and support each other in this video.
I'm going to do the best I can on remembering this event that my cousin told me. This happened in the late 80s. A first cousin of mine and his friend were in the park when they saw a guy doing some weird things that he shouldn't be doing in public by a bridge, if you know what I mean. Being young teens.
There's a lot of weird people when I was growing up in LA, man. Especially if they was weird, bro, you can't make eye contact. Eye contact is the worst thing that you can do, because once you look at them, they're like, oh, he's inviting me over. No. I'm not inviting you over. I was just looking to see who was making noise. If you can, remember that tip. Avoid eye contact.
They started making fun of the guy. I believe he tried to get them to come join him, but eventually he chased them and vowed that if he caught them, he would kill them. They went home and told my uncle, who's 6'5" and looked pretty fit at the time. He came back to the park and looked for the guy with them. I don't recall exactly what happened after.
His uncle about to get clapped.
The guy was found and charged with enticing a minor, or something along that line. As my aunt told me, in 1991, she and my uncle started getting calls from reporters. They were asking about charges against a guy in the news.
Who is it?
His name was familiar, and what occurred with their son. You see, my aunt, uncle, and their 3 kids lived in Wisconsin.
I'm from Wisconsin.
The guy
Green
my
Bay
cousin
Packers
and his friends ran into was none other than Jeffrey Dahmer. My cousin ended up on an episode of the Phil Donahue Show with Tracy Edwards, the guy who was intended to be the victim but escaped and ended up getting Jeffrey Dahmer caught. Now I'm curious. I needed to call them and get a refresher of events, since that was almost 30 years ago. I wanted to see if...
Bruh, what is the odds of you running to the weird guy known as Jeffrey Dahmer? This man has so much evil inside of his heart, it's not even funny. Like, there's no cap. I remember one of his victims, if I'm thinking if this right guy, I remember one of his victims ran out and escaped, and he was covered in blood. I think he had holes drilled in his head or something like that. And he went to a police car and was telling the police, hey, this dude's trying to kill me and blah, blah, blah. And Jeffrey Dahmer comes out like, oh, no, it's all right. This is my boyfriend and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, we've been drinking and, you know, things got wild. So it's nothing out of the ordinary, you know, I'm sorry about that. The police are like, oh, yeah, you know, we know how it goes, man. You know, have a nice night, you know what I'm saying? Well, like, come on, bro. What kind of police officer is going to let you right there bleeding, you half naked, you out in the street, like, what? You're not going to investigate nothing? Lazy, man. He could have saved this kid's life. Jeffrey Dahmer took him back in the house, killed him, and dismembered his body.
If they still had the tape from that show, or if something's on YouTube. I remember my cousin talking about this on the Donahue Show and being very nervous.
Dang,
I kind of
man.
feel bad for him. But I still think it's crazy that Jeffrey Dahmer almost got my cousin.
It's crazy how popular serial killers are. I'm fascinated with serial killers. Not in a way like, oh, I want to be just like them, but just what drives people to do things like this. Because me personally, I couldn't drive myself to kill somebody that didn't try to harm me or someone that I love. Some people just have the urge to do it, and I just want to know what is it that makes people have the urge to kill
at the time,
people, animals, all that stuff, man.
It was me and my little sister who happened to be working with me overnight doing housekeeping. On our way to work, she got a phone call saying that something was wrong with my niece. She had to call off, which of course is something she did very frequently. I was forced to turn around and drop her back off home, and I had to head to work. Since I had to turn around, I realized I was going to be late, so I had to take a shortcut. Allow me to explain about the area in which my job is. It's pretty much in a big building in the middle of a suburban area, covered in complete darkness. I wanted to speed up to get to work on time, but couldn't because deer tend to jump out in front of your cars.
I hit a deer in Germany.
Almost near work, I came to a light and waited for it to turn green, when I felt a slight tap come from a car behind me. I said to myself, oh shit, not now. I pulled over to check both my car and the person that hit me. I got out and walked to the car and was asking, was he okay?
It's never the right time to say goodbye. He's about to get killed because he just walked up on this stranger's car. Bro, why would you walk up on this dude? He hit you. But I mean, oh man, I hate car accident, bro. Especially a car accident in the middle of nowhere, bro.
Thinking he was falling asleep
God.
driving, but he never got out. So I approached the driver door to ask if the person was okay. They just had the window crack enough to just show their head, but they said nothing. I said that there's no damage, and I think I'm just gonna go. As I got near the rear of my car,
He got out.
I heard a car door open. I turned around and seen that it was a guy that got out of the car, but he still said nothing.
Go.
The next thing I did was something I regret to this day, which was walk back towards him until I noticed something. His hands were extremely pale, and they were white.
Oh, he's dead.
But his face was black.
It's a
It
ghost.
seemed off. Unnaturally black. I thought it was a mask, but you could see parts of his skin showing.
Was it Michael Blackson? Now, it could have been Michael Blackson. We don't know for sure. All right? Let's not count him out.
Being in the area I was in made me nervous because I was thinking he was wearing blackface and tapped my car because of my skin color. The moment I was about to walk away, in one swift motion, he grabbed a rifle out of his car and pointed it directly at my head. I kept saying to myself, I was going to die, and no one's going to know because I'm on
Why? What did he do?
I tried making conversation with that guy, saying, you
Oh,
don't
that's
have to
scary.
do this. Next, he started crying uncontrollably and hopped in his car and drove off. I stood in darkness near my car, not moving a muscle, just being relieved that I'm alive. I soon got in my car and made it to my job about an hour late. Everyone was asking why I was so late, but I kept the situation to myself and only told my family, who was worried sick. I now work a different shift and get off at night rather than go to work at night.
Yep.
But I avoid any hidden roads when I'm driving home.
Mm-hmm. When I worked night shift, I didn't take any back streets. I didn't take any new streets. I took the same bus. I didn't take any alternate route. That dude probably was going through something and wanted somebody to take it out on, but he wasn't that kind of person, so he drove off. I hope he didn't kill himself.
And this happened when I was 16. I attended your junior debate competition as a judge along with my other debate buddies from my school. When we got to the hotel, we found out that we had communal showers on each floor instead of private bathrooms. We were fine with it, as we were just too focused on preparing for the competition. The next day, I went to the room for the first competition and met this team that came in early. One of the boys had caught my eye. He was very good looking. It was a while before everything started, so he came up to me to talk.
You know, I'm alright.
We were having fun and just chatting about our schools when I noticed that a supervisor came in. Every room needed to have an adult supervisor to ensure that the teams were being judged fairly. They didn't wear anything special to set them apart from all the visitors, just normal clothes. This lady looked to be in her late 20s, wearing a dirty flower printed dress.
Uh-oh.
She had messy blonde hair and had bags under her eyes.
Get rid of her.
She hadn't slept in days.
Get rid of her. That's
I
a red
noticed
flag.
an awful smell as soon as she came in.
She farted.
I noticed she kept glaring at me, but I didn't pay any attention to it. After the competition, I went to the hotel and my friend...
Yo, I don't know if you guys noticed, but whether it's this video or another horror video, that you notice that people always say, I didn't want them to know that I knew they were looking at me. No, let them know so that you know that you're fully aware and ready to protect yourself.
I decided to shower in the communal bathroom. Suddenly, the lights turned off. I thought it was my friend playing a prank on me, and I yelled at her to turn the lights back on. No one replied.
Done.
Then I saw a shadow in the front of my stall.
Benito.
I just laughed until she started banging on the door. I was startled and kept quiet until I had enough and yelled, hey, quit it. I waited for what seemed like hours, and then I went outside. To my horror, I looked in the mirror and I saw a pair of eyes staring at me from the half-open stall. I screamed and ran back to my room. I told my friend what happened, but she just laughed it off. I tossed and turned the whole night, but eventually went to sleep.
Yeah, bro.
In the middle of the night, I woke up to hot air being blown in my face. I was paralyzed, but managed to look in the corner of my eye, and I saw it. It was the same woman from the debate competition. Her bloodshot eyes were staring at me.
My hair stood up.
Beaming wide, showing her white but crooked teeth. She had her fingers on my bed, peeping out with just her head.
Her teeth
She whispered in a raspy voice, stay away from things that are not yours.
Bruh, her teeth was throwing up gang signs. Her teeth was out of order. Her teeth had her tongue in jail, bruh. bruh. Her teeth looked like piano keys. Her teeth was leaning on the next one. But her teeth was singing, we all need somebody to lean on.
I'll cut you.
I
screamed again, waking my friend up. She saw the woman run outside, leaving the door wide open. My clothes that I had hanging out to dry for tomorrow had cuts in them.
Bro, I'd have pieced her up.
My skirt had a huge hole in the crotch, and my white shirt had horror written on it. I called my friend and my parents crying as our chaperone called the cops. They came soon and caught the woman hiding in the fire escape.
Weirdo.
They arrested her and questioned her.
What's her name?
The cops told me that she said I was flirting with her boyfriend. They also questioned the boy that I met. He had no idea who she was, but admitted that he had seen her following him all day. But he thought that she was a supervisor or a chaperone. Turned out she was a schizo with previous charges of assault. To this day, I never want to go to a communal.
That's scary,
shower
man.
again.
Bruh, she was like, I don't know who he is, but he looked good, and that's my boyfriend. She tried to take him from me, so now I gotta take it from you. And she went in there and made her let her know when she was asleep, like, hey, it's my man.
My grandma's old house was in our family for generations and had a lot of activity. You would catch shadow people peeking around corners at you out of the corner of your eye.
No.
One experience I remember clear as day was when I was young. There was a strange woman sitting in a rocking chair in her den, quietly rocking, looking out the window.
How can you live in these houses?
By the time my grandma came to look, the woman was gone, but the chair was still rocking. I think the all-time absolute scariest moment was back in the day of disposable cameras.
Boy, I would have rocked my ass out of that house and rocked my ass on the nearest airplane and rocked my ass out of that city. I would have been gone. You can't tell me nothing. Ghost in no rocking chair, bruh.
The first shot would be a throwaway shot to make sure it was working. Someone had taken a picture looking into my grandmother's kitchen, and on top of her fridge was a flower arrangement. When we developed the pictures, there was a perfect man's face in the flowers. Not arranged so that when you squint, it vaguely looked like a man. I mean, a full man's face on top of the fridge.
So it was a man.
Flowers. We were all so scared we destroyed the picture.
Destroy the house.
I wish now we had kept it. It would have been a great conversation piece.
Bro, they don't say nothing about this ID Discover, bro. These ghosts are bold. Or Destination America, like these ghosts got some brass on them, boy.
A few months ago during the summer break, my friend was having a birthday party, and he was allowed to invite some friends over. He invited our whole friend group. Their names are Trevor, Jake, Hayden, Will, and my name is Richie.
And Zims.
He lived in the country with a lot of hills, dirt roads, and woods, but there wasn't much to do either way.
Bigfoot.
So Keegan, who was running the party in the first place, came up with an idea. As night came, his parents fell asleep, and we were sitting by the fire talking and having fun. Keep in mind, my friend had a big field behind his property, and on the right side was a huge forest. But all you had to do to get back was turn around and walk straight up.
Oh no.
Back in the field. So when we got back, me, Keegan, and Will wanted to explore the woods with flashlights.
No.
It was 3 a.m. when we left into the woods. It was dark, and even with the most of the flashlights, it was scary for pretty much everyone. We were walking for a while until we found a steep decline into a small ravine.
Bro, I don't know if any of you guys know, if they didn't have those flashlights, I told you I went camping with the Angel Gate Camp, and let me tell you, that was my first ever real experience in the woods, and I speak from experience when I say, when you go like this, you cannot see your hand in front. If you ever have to survive and there's no light and you can't see, good luck to you, buddy, because you're not going to be able to see nothing, and you're probably going to stick yourself in the eye with a branch.
Who claimed he knew the woods, had no idea about it all. Instead of walking down the hill, we decided to just tread on the side until we found a rock formation that was flat and sturdy enough to at least stand on. Should we walk in? Asked Keegan. Let's just take the dive, Will said. Keegan and Will dropped down first, taking it slowly all the way to the creek bed. I'll follow behind them quickly. Trevor, being slightly hesitant, looked around at Hayden and Jake, holding the majority of the flashlights, shook his head and said, I think we should go back, Hayden.
Duh,
So
thank
the
you.
others went off. We were walking down the creek, and then all of a sudden our flashlights died. It was okay because I and Trevor brought our phones. They had low battery, so we decided to leave. As we were walking through the woods to go back to Keegan's house, I saw the tree line to the field that goes back to Keegan's house. But as we got to it, my eyes widened. I saw no house, and I saw no field. I just saw more woods and brush that rose to my neck. We just gotta walk further up, Keegan claimed. As
Oh.
we got further up, the weeds got lower, and ahead of us we saw miles of woods and we panicked. We were very confused.
Well, there you
It's
go.
like the house vanished. Then we heard a loud voice.
Whoop, there
It
it is.
sounded like people, and it was coming from our right in the dark woods. I said hello, and it was two familiar voices, Jake and Hayden. I asked, where are you? They yelled out that they were lost and the house was gone, and they sound really confused. Me, Keegan, Will, and Trevor panicked, knowing that we were lost, and that the house should be here. So we kept yelling so they can follow our voice, and they had to go through prickers. Jake got cut up badly, but they managed well. They finally met up with us, and we were arguing because of the fear of being caught, sneaking out, and being lost for good.
The fear of getting caught. Now what you guys yelling across the forest for each other? What if something's out there and y'all over here yelling flashlights? And what if that wasn't Jake and them? And you over there yelling at them people? What if it was the people that probably out there trying to find you, kill you or something, man? Stop yelling all the time. You better use walkie-talkies or something. Gee
Trevor
whiz.
said he saw a trail. We walked down there and started following the trail. We heard strange noises and thought it was just the wind. But then we saw something big move, and it made strange noises, and we started walking really fast.
Bigfoot.
And the noises went away.
Or werewolf.
After 30 minutes, we realized this trail went in circles and kept looping. We started arguing again about what we should do.
Just real
We
Hunger
all
Games.
noticed a beam of light on this mountain. So we all decided to climb it and hope for the best. And
Aliens.
to mention, it was miles and miles away. We climbed through the mountain. We all got injured and also went through some poison ivy. We finally reached the top of the mountain, and we were exhausted. It was someone's house that had a beam of light. Keegan said, I know this house. I know where my house is. So we followed Keegan and finally arrived at his home. We sat in his room talking about how strange this experience was. Every time I think about this, I wonder what happened if we stayed there any longer.
That
We
thing
would
would
have
have
died
got you.
probably, or found
Yep.
out what was lurking in those woods. Was it some predator or something?
Mm-hmm. Yep, it was a huge predator. I'm going to end it right here, guys. If you enjoyed my content, be sure you like, comment, and on the subscribe button. Be part of Mother Crows today. Again, no one told you today. I love you. Man, these stories was extremely good. Yo, Ola, thank you so much for recommending me this video. I really, really appreciate it. Yo, that last one, man, I told you, man, stop yelling. You know you're not the only one out there. I'm a firm believer that we're not the only ones on this planet, whether it's aliens, Bigfoot, werewolf, chupacabra, whatever it is, man, it's real. I believe in it 100%. If you honestly think we're the only ones, you're tripping. I mean, I respect your opinion, but you're tripping. That's why if you would have stayed at home, watched the movies and stuff, then you would never have to be walking in circles and some big hairy creature out there probably hunting you or waiting for you to strike, but somehow you find a beam of light and it's probably scared it off. Thank God for their phone flashlights, because if they didn't have those, I'm pretty sure whatever is out there lurking probably would have got them. But again, you guys keep liking the videos, keep commenting, keep showing your boys support. The videos will keep coming throughout the week. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. And let me know down in the comment section what you thought was the worst story. To me, first one with the dad with the mirror, and the little kid with the Jurassic Park movies, and the homeless guy that was kind of like getting mad because he didn't get his $200 worth of used video games that he tried to turn in.